hurricane season, June 1st through November 30th. During this time, South Floridians must stay alert and up to date on weather conditions which have the potential to change our lives. MBTV welcomes you to plan and prepare hurricanes and beyond. I'm Julia Yarbo. For the next 30 minutes, we'll provide a host of information to help you safely navigate through hurricane season. We'll help you identify common weather terms, talk with emergency management experts, walk you through practical steps you can take to protect your property and keep your family safe. We visit the National Hurricane Center to hear from weather experts, and we go behind the scenes with some of the men and women who travel into the eyes of storms to gather vital information which helps all of us. Hurricane preparedness begins with personal preparedness. That includes arming ourselves with as much information as possible about storms and other emergency situations.
We're ready, and all we ask is that folks educate themselves, get ready, and if and when it's going to happen, please follow our leads, because you've got professionals who know what they're talking about. Don't go by old wives' tales or rumors. Take this stuff seriously, because if it is a strong hurricane, it's something you don't want to live through.
Andrew, Wilma, Sandy, Katrina. They are names which carry a somber reminder of the fierce destruction possible at the hands of Mother Nature in the form of hurricanes. These named storms slammed into the United States, each taking lives, obliterating property, and leaving emotional scars for millions of residents. And when it comes to weather, history often repeats itself.
In a state like Florida and a city like Miami Beach, we know that we're going to be impacted by hurricanes. We know that even though we've had a nice long spell without one, that they are going to happen again.
Plan and prepare. It is, say emergency management experts, one line of defense should we find ourselves in the line of a storm. Understanding tropical weather systems and the havoc they can wreak is the first step towards preparedness. The Atlantic hurricane season is officially from June 1st to November 30th. Hurricanes can and have occurred outside these 6 months, but 97% of tropical activity occurs during this time frame. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, better known as NOAA, September is the most common month for Atlantic hurricanes. Not all destructive storms, however, are hurricanes. Systems traditionally form in the eastern Atlantic and, based on tropical features, are then classified and tracked by meteorologists. A tropical depression is an organized system of clouds and thunderstorms with a defined circulation and winds of 38 miles per hour or less. A tropical storm is an organized system of strong thunderstorms with maximum sustained winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. A hurricane is an intense tropical weather system of strong thunderstorms with maximum sustained winds of 74 miles per hour or higher.
We are the state most prone to hurricanes. South Florida is the part of the state most prone to, Florida prone to those hurricanes. And Miami Beach is specifically vulnerable to hurricanes, both because of its position as a barrier island.
Residents are urged to keep an eye on weather reports during storm season and heed the advice of emergency officials. Storms can change direction, speed, and intensity without warning. Via the National Hurricane Center, which tracks storms, local news outlets provide coverage and updates. And for information specific to Miami Beach, emergency management officials hand out information via email and social media. And don't let the current weather conditions fool you. Beautiful sunny skies could be deceptive.
So oftentimes you're looking out your window and it's beautiful, okay? Or it's very calm and you don't see the threat.
Here are some terms you need to know which indicate the strength and proximity of a storm. Hurricane watch means a hurricane may hit our area within 48 hours. Hurricane warning means a hurricane is expected to hit our area within 36 hours. The Saffir-Simpson scale. This is the 1 to 5 rating based on the hurricane's peak wind speed. A Category 1 storm has sustained winds of 74 to 95 miles per hour. A Category 2 storm has sustained winds of 96 to 110 miles per hour. A Category 3 storm has sustained winds of 111 to 130 miles per hour. A Category 4 storm has sustained winds of 131 to 155 miles per hour. A Category 5 storm has sustained winds of 156 miles per hour or higher.
Hurricanes are going to hit Florida, but there are things we can do to get ready for it.
If we issue an order and it's a mandatory evacuation or a recommended evacuation, there's a good chance that the services they're used to and the things that they've come to know to save their life, their property, or their loved ones are not going to be there for them till we can safely go in.
We're there to help make you safe, but all the forecasts, all the warnings, all the technology, all the evacuation instructions in the world, even if they're perfect, which they aren't, but even if they were, that would not complete the picture. None of that matters, and none of that's going to be as effective unless people are prepared in advance and know what to do when the warnings and the evacuation instructions are issued.
When we come back, fortifying your home against a storm. Hear from the experts, emergency management officials, and a lifelong Miami Beach resident who spell out exactly what you need in order to properly plan and prepare. But first, some useful safety tips to help you weather a storm.
Mobile technology is making it even easier to resolve your issues in the community. Introducing the Miami Beach eGov app is a free, simple, real-time platform that connects you directly with city government to resolve issues in the community in a snap, report concerns, track requests, and provide comments. Also, read news and events, track the trolley, and use the GIS map. The app is available on iPhone and Android devices. The new smartphone app allows the public to report real-time neighborhood concerns such as abandoned property, alley cleanliness, graffiti, illegal dumping, broken sidewalks, potholes, and homeless activity. Report concerns, track requests, and provide comments. The Miami Beach eGov app.
Hi, I'm Nanette Rodriguez, Public Information Officer for the City of Miami Beach, and we care about your safety. So when the city is under an emergency, you'll want to be informed. There are several ways to get important information. For example, tune into MBTV or go to the city's website to sign up for cell phone and email notifications. Or you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or tune into 1670 AM MB Radio, or call us at 311.
Welcome to Miami-Dade 311.
Don't be left in the dark. Get connected to information before, during, and after an emergency.
Welcome back to Plan and Prepare, Hurricanes and Beyond, an MBTV special presentation to help you safely navigate hurricane season. Severe storm systems can cause catastrophic damage to property and claim lives. But there are some practical steps homeowners can take to increase the chances storm damage will be minimal and family members are safe.
We have to become resilient. We have to prepare. We have to develop a plan, we have to prepare for it, and we have to be ready to sustain ourselves for anything that comes up for 5 to 7 days.
Solid advice from a man who devotes his working hours to just that, emergency planning. Charles Tier, Director of Emergency Management of the City of Miami Beach, confidently says his team of experts is ready, but asks, are you and your family?
Can't become complacent. Complacency, is when we have people that aren't survivors, they're victims. And really, we don't want to be victims. We want people that are survivors and come through this stuff, learning from it. So if we look back on history, and you can see on the maps, and you can see history repeats itself, we're very vulnerable. We have to be ready for this, and we have to learn from the other areas and what's happened to them so that we're prepared to act and make sure we come out good.
Born and raised here on Miami Beach, homeowner Jeff Gordon has experienced more than his share of hurricanes and tropical storms.
If you have an idea of what you need to do, then you won't go crazy worrying what to do.
He knows the drills, so to speak, when it comes to being prepared. First, Gordon makes sure his home is protected, exactly what emergency managers advise. In May, the month before the official start of the hurricane season, Gordon tests his shutters, makes sure everything is in working order. And he has all the necessary safety tools on hand: a sturdy, well-anchored ladder, safety goggles, and heavy-duty, durable work gloves.
I'll check the bolts, and then the shutters I never handle without the gloves. The old-style shutters are very sharp, and they're light, but they're dangerous.
And what about supplies? It's advised to have a personal and family emergency preparedness kit. Some items are to secure your home. Others are needed should you have to evacuate. Still others for when you return home. After years of personal experience, Gordon has a full arsenal.
We have the lanterns, the flashlights, the radio, the portable TV. The third week of May, I go through and I just check make sure that all the radios are good. The lanterns are charged and the flashlights are available. And then I'll go do a Costco run, and we'll load up again on new batteries and canned goods. And then we'll go to Publix and we'll pick up a few cases of water.
How much food and water should we have on hand to weather a storm? Emergency managers advise maintaining a 2-week supply of food and drink, including water. Rule of thumb is 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days. Special dietary needs: canned goods such as meats, fruits, and soups, dry cereal, bread, dry or non-refrigerated milk, and, if applicable, baby food, and don't forget to stock enough food for your pets. Because each storm is different, there is no one surefire plan, say emergency officials, other than to plan ahead and be ready for anything and everything. Gordon agrees. He offers some practical tips for storm newcomers.
You need to be able to prepare, perhaps not over-prepare, but prepare. And then if and when it doesn't pass, you've learned from it. And if it does happen, Lord forbid, you at least are prepared for it.
In the event the storm does not pass and emergency officials call for an evacuation, it's advisable to have a go bag prepared. It should include important documents in an airtight bag, a small supply of non-perishable food, medicines and prescription drugs, a change of clothing. And when you go, take your pets with you. Emergency managers stress, take the time before a storm is approaching to have a plan in place for your family and home and have your supplies ready. As a seasoned South Florida resident, Gordon adds, listen to emergency officials for information and heed the warnings.
You never feel completely safe. All you can do is do the best you can and, prepare and pray, I guess. That's the best I can do.
How does Miami Beach prepare for storm season? Coming up right here on Plan and Prepare, Hurricanes and Beyond, a look at how Miami Beach Emergency Management, Fire, and Ocean Rescue work in tandem to ensure residents are safe. And we'll hear from the man who leads the National Hurricane Center, how scientists are using new technology to enhance weather forecasting. Stay with us.
Listen to this station in your car for updates on construction.
The city has launched a new radio station, which can be found at 1670 on your AM dial.
This is MBR, Miami Beach Radio.
The city records weekly traffic updates, so you're in the know on the roads across Miami Beach.
12th Street will be closed from Washington Avenue to Ocean Drive.
This is MBR, Miami Beach Radio.
Stop getting burned at the beach. Has this ever happened to you?
They're gone.
It's almost worse than a sunburn, but not anymore. At select kiosks along Miami Beach, Rent or buy a bad guy-proof lockbox to stash your valuables. Securely lock them on your beach chair or at the kiosk. Stop getting burned at the beach. Block the hot rays of the sun. Wear sunglasses, a hat, and of course, plenty of sunscreen. Keep yourself hydrated. Drink plenty of water. And avoid the burn of jellyfish or other sea life. Watch for warning flags at lifeguard stands and know what the different colors mean. You don't have to get burned.
Teamwork. In emergency situations, residents can feel confident City of Miami Beach first responders are working together to ensure the safety of lives and property. Fire, police, ocean rescue, and emergency management members operate as a cohesive unit. And in emergency situations, even citizen volunteers are called into action.
The biggest mistake that is ever made is falling into that complacency. You're better off being prepared and making sure that nothing happens than waiting to see if something does happen. Typically you fare a lot better once you do prepare yourself.
And the City of Miami Beach is prepared. Across all departments, team members have specific duties and roles to assume once the threat of a storm is imminent.
We don't just prepare for hurricanes. We take every event we have, from a run to a centennial to everything, to work together, to build our infrastructure, to make sure that we're ready to deal with whatever, either Mother Nature or bad people throw at us. As a city, we're probably one of the most prepared cities I've ever been in.
At the Emergency Management Department, experts use this planning room as ground zero to gather information, coordinate resources, deploy the necessary help from utilities, county, state, and federal agencies, whatever is needed in an emergency.
We're coming, sir. We're coming.
Volunteers, members of the Community Emergency Response Team, known as CERT, are trained in hands-on emergency rescue situations. They are ready to assist in times of need. Ordinary citizens who learn basic first aid, light search and rescue, fire control. In the event first responders are unable to reach everyone, these volunteers could very well help save lives.
Emergency response team is here to help. Help! Hey, I need help. My partner is injured.
Miami Beach Police, Ocean Rescue, and Fire Rescue work in tandem to protect lives and property. Pre- and post-storm, police patrol to guard against break-ins or looting, ensuring resident safety. Ocean Rescue personnel secure our beaches.
It becomes extremely challenging because typically we get a lot of surfers out there. They want to take advantage of the high waves, and so it becomes a challenge for them to make sure that everybody is out of the beach and accounted for.
Miami Beach Fire Chief Virgil Fernandez reminds residents they must also take responsibility for this emergency response teamwork. If there are orders to evacuate, evacuate. Leave the island. Plan ahead. Have necessary items, food, water, medicines, pet needs. And know your own ability level when working with shutters, power tools, and the like. Chief Fernandez says many emergency calls come in after a storm, individuals injured in post-storm cleanup. In West Miami-Dade, meteorologists and scientists at the National Hurricane Center are hard at work gathering crucial information to be passed to Miami Beach emergency management officials. It is here that storms are tracked, current positions, projected paths, strength. Crucial information passed along to media outlets, emergency officials, and residents. 24/7, scientists are on duty watching every weather disturbance forming that could pose a threat to the U.S. New technology is now in place, giving Miami Beach residents even more specific weather information.
And we also have 2 storm surge graphics that would come out. Folks in Miami Beach, we're going to be able to more clearly convey to you than we ever have before this year if hurricane or tropical storm poses a storm surge threat to your area. We're going to be able to show you where the storm surge could occur, how far inland from the immediate beach the water could go, how high above ground the water could get.
Because Miami Beach is a cultural melting pot, emergency managers also recognize the need to get crucial information to all members of the community, regardless of language, ethnicity, race, or religion. The National Weather Service offers dedicated messaging for foreign language updates, and Miami Beach officials work closely with various religious organizations, stressing that public safety takes precedent over individual cultural observances.
For the most part, when people realize what the threat is, most religions and most cultures look at personal and public safety high. They usually take politics out of it, they take religion out of it, and we look at, wow, we got to do what's right and help each other.
How do weather forecasters and emergency management officials on the ground gather the most up-to-date weather information when a storm is approaching? When we come back, you'll meet the hurricane hunters, an elite team of scientists and aviators who go into the heart of storms, literally. But first, sea level rise versus storm surge. Do you know and understand the difference? Miami Beach recently installed a series of stormwater pumps designed to stave off the effects of sea level rise. After heavy rains or during king tide season, excess water is pumped into the bay. The pumps are designed to alleviate flooding. Hurricanes, on the other hand, can bring rising water in the form of dangerous storm surge.
In Miami Beach, the most deadly hazard posed by hurricanes is the storm surge, the water coming onto land. That's the main reason people would be told to evacuate. Storm surge is a life-threatening condition that the pumps are not going to be able to keep up with to the point where you would not be at risk due to storm surge. So when storm surge is the ocean coming onto normally dry ground in very large amounts, and it can be up to several feet deep above ground level. That's a life-threatening situation.
Meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center work around the clock during hurricane season, keeping tabs on tropical activity. How do they gather real-time data on characteristics of specific storms? With the help of the elite team of hurricane hunters.
August 13, 2004. Hurricane Charley walloped Florida.
We're going to take a little cover here for a moment.
It was August 2004. The state of Florida found itself in the news and weather headlines more than once, and in the path of strong, destructive storms. Hurricane Charley making landfall in southwest Florida as a Category 4 hurricane, the strongest storm to hit Florida since Andrew in 1992. Spawning 9 tornadoes, Charley caused catastrophic wind damage, left 10 people dead, and handed the state a bill of $6.75 billion in damage. Barely a teenager at the time, Lisa Freilich lived on the West Coast. Experiencing Charley, the full force of Mother Nature's fury laid the groundwork for her career.
I saw an actual video of the Air Force Hurricane Hunters, and I vividly remember saying that's what I want to do. So I went to school and got a degree in meteorology at Florida State, go Noles, and from there I set myself to try and become an Air Force Hurricane Hunter.
Hurricane Hunters. If it sounds somewhat ominous, that's because it is. When a storm is approaching, this group of well-trained United States Air Force scientists, meteorologists, and aviation experts load up into the ultra-durable C-130, an aircraft able to withstand most everything and fly right into hurricanes to gather as much scientific information as possible about the composition of the storm.
We go out there, we figure out what's going on, and we can exactly pinpoint the storms, the winds that the storm has, the effects that it could have for the population.
Like most emergency operations, the hurricane hunters don't work alone. While the pilot navigates the C-130 through the interior bands of the hurricane, this aircraft, flown by the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, NOAA experts, flies on the perimeter, circles the storm. It gathers crucial upper-level atmospheric information. Weather radar data is collected from 45,000 feet, then sent to the National Hurricane Center.
We work as a team, really talented group of individuals to look at the hazards, put the mitigations in place to make sure that we get through the storm safely.
Teamwork from the upper levels of the atmosphere, partnerships on the ground. Throughout the hurricane season, weather experts are hard at work at the National Hurricane Center interpreting data, in efforts to give us as much practical and potentially life-saving information as possible.
Well, our forecasts and warnings are as accurate as we can possibly make them. We apply all kinds of technology to that process, including the Hurricane Hunter aircraft behind me. That data gets collected in real time from inside the hurricane, bounces off the satellite, comes right into our laps, and helps us make more accurate forecasts and warnings.
For First Lieutenant Freilich, a real-life childhood experience that shaped her life, creating a weather expert determined to help others plan and prepare. Tropical weather. It is unpredictable and every storm is different. Emergency managers and first responders stress the best defense against the unknown nature of Mother Nature is to plan and prepare. Take the time before a storm is approaching to have a plan to keep yourself, your loved ones, and your property safe. I'm Julia Yarbo. Thanks for joining us.
For a list of important resources and phone numbers related to emergencies, visit www.miamibeachfl.gov and search for Hurricane Guide. You can also call us at 305-604-CITY or the county's information hotline at 311.
Help us fight crime. See something? Say something. Take a closer look at your surroundings when you're out and about and in your neighborhoods. You may be witnessing a crime right under your nose. Copper wire theft. Thieves may be lurking around light poles, beach walk lamps, and other public fixtures that use copper wire. Suspects may appear to belong, but they are vandalizing, stealing a valuable commodity that keeps those lights on at night for your safety. If you see someone tampering with one of these fixtures, they may be up to no good. If you do see something suspicious, call 911 immediately. Remember, if you see something, say something. Don't be left in the dark.
It's a one-stop shop for many of our most popular city services. Located on the first floor of the new building at 1755 Meridian Avenue, the city's Customer Service Center offers a wide variety of services you can access, like parking permits, licensing, resort tax, liens, utility billing, and passport applications, among others. This center is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 6 o'clock p.m. Miami Beach, putting customer service first.
Know your codes, city codes. Know your codes. Here we go.
As a homeowner, knowing your city codes can save you from potential fines. Did you know that the most common residential code violations are issued for property maintenance, exterior paint, fences, and trash? To avoid a violation, keep your greenery trimmed, house painted, fence intact, and trash and debris picked up.
Know your codes, city codes.